Well, there's athletes, and then there's Andy Atwood, a spectacular catch in straightaway center field over the wall, and he comes down with the ball in a clear shot home run. Justin, that was probably the most spectacular play that we've seen from Bourne all season long.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen my fair share of baseball games in my life, humble brag, and that was the greatest catch I've ever seen in person. Atwood went over the fence, flipped over, held onto the ball, came back, had it on the other side. Just an incredible play, and had the wherewithal to put the ball up and show the umpire to make sure it was called a catch. Definitely the best play I've ever seen, and he also had a great day at the plate, 2 singles and a walk, so sneak preview player of the game might be Andy Atwood.
Well, you definitely have to give a lot of praise to Andy Atwood for that. He's got to be keeping that ball for his souvenir stand, and it seemed as though that was the only exciting thing for Bourne in this game, really. The offense did not have the day that it did yesterday, jumbling up all the hits. They get shut out here at Veterans Field. What was working, or not working, I should say, for the offense?
Well, this Anglers pitching staff has been excellent, specifically against the Braves this season. As far as runs allowed, well, they lead the East in runs allowed, but when they play Bourne, that all just doesn't seem to matter. But tonight, 14 strikeouts for the Braves. Never really gotten to too many hitters counts. They only had one man on third. Of course, it was Andy Atwood the entire game. And really, they just didn't have any opportunities. They couldn't produce. And when guys are out there throwing as well as Chatham did tonight, I mean, they not only put together an excellent start, but were able to go shut out of the bullpen. Was it 27-28 scoreless innings pitched for that staff? I mean, that's unbelievable. So right now, this is not the time you want to play the Chatham Anglers, especially in a hitter's park like this. They were still able to shut down the Braves, who, as we've mentioned, have had their fair share of offensive struggles this season, but nonetheless, an excellent pitching performance, and really, the Braves just could not get anything going.
And talking about the Bourne pitching staff as well, they kind of had a good thing going at the beginning of the game. Daniel Bees pitched a fantastic outing, only 1 run allowed under his belt on the mound, and then Brian Hoeing comes in, gives up a home run, but that's the only blemish that he had on his resume for today. I thought the Bourne pitching staff did very good for today. A low-scoring affair, a fast-moving game. What did you think of Bees' performance from tonight? And it seems as though he's really put together consistent starts for the Braves in a season that doesn't see that much consistency from its starters.
Well, I completely agree with you. Bees has pretty much given the Braves 5 innings every time he started. Tonight he wasn't that sharp, but he was able to work out of jams and keep it at a 1-0 game until he left. I thought he did a really good job. Hoeing, like you said, the one blemish was the home run. You can thank Andy Atwood for that. But it's now 4 good starts in a row for the Braves, dating back to Hess and then Eichhorn, Kraus, and now Bees. And if this continues, you have to be feeling good if you're manager Harvey Shapiro, even though over the course of those 4 starts, the team's only 2-2.
Now, talking about this Bourne hitting staff as well, you mentioned it earlier, Kyle, that the bats really weren't working today, and the Chatham Anglers had a huge part in that. But we saw some of the players that we normally see hit the big bombs, hit the big extra base hits and everything, not perform as well as they did today. Is there something that this Bourne hitting staff really needs to work on?
I don't think it's one thing in particular. Like I said, I think you're catching this Anglers team at about the worst time possible. Zach Soucy's put together a really excellent season, and I don't think an 0-for with 3 strikeouts really represents his summer on the Cape. I think Andrew Freejay has made so many good strides these last few weeks that his 0-for with 4 strikeouts doesn't necessarily encapsulate his entire summer. So although he's struggled, it's just like how many times can you expect that to happen, especially on the Cape League with these guys? You're going up against great pitching, but these bats are equally as potent. And even on a team like the Braves, where the offense has just been so inconsistent and really lacks power and, frankly, depth for that matter. But it just, nothing's wrong. You have to say, look, 14 strikeouts tonight. Obviously, we maybe could have put together some better at-bats, but I think you have to give about 99.9% of the credit to the Chatham pitching staff.
Well, let's turn the tables to our positive side in our Players of the Game segment. I'm going to go with Andy Atwood. There's no question about it. He takes my Player of the Game for that fantastic catch that he made in straightaway center field. It's incredible to see some of the athleticism from these guys, and we've seen it from Richard Palacios, Jamison Hanna. Now Andy Atwood adds his name to that checklist. Congratulations, bud.
Have to agree, Andy Atwood. Nothing else I can say. You put it perfectly.
Yeah, I'm going to give a tip of the cap to Daniel Bees tonight. Another 5-inning performance from him, and he has been the model of consistency for the Braves starting staff, which has lacked it, as we've said numerous times. He's been able to go out there in every start and go 5 innings. That's huge. Getting one guy out of the bullpen and Hoeing, who is equally as impressive. A great day for the Braves as far as looking to tomorrow and saying, okay, we only needed to use 2 pitchers tonight in a loss. Not the worst thing in the world. But player of the game has to go to Andy Atwood. Anytime you make a catch like that on this stage, I mean, so many people notice, and I said it during the broadcast, this guy was listed as an infielder coming into tonight. He makes like Ken Griffey in center field. Unbelievable performance from him tonight. Was the only guy for the Braves that was able to swing the bat well, and obviously the catch is just the icing on top.
And he's been on the mound as well.
He has. He's done everything. What can't he do? What can't he do?
Well, a utility player in Andy Atwood gets a clean sweep of the player of the game from all of us here. So let's see if he can do something a little more impressive tomorrow.
Set the bar high.
Well, we want to thank everybody for listening in to Tomahawk Talk today. He's Kyle Kirchhoff. He's Justin Glancy. I'm Blaine McCormick. Make sure to tune in tomorrow as the Braves take on the Catuit Kettleers. The game is set for 5 o'clock, and you can catch these guys on the broadcast. And we'll see you back here tomorrow.